Hey everyone, today I'm gonna teach you about variables in JS. Most of the time, your JS code needs to work with data. For example, an online shop, it stores items and cart info, or a chat app, it stores messages and users. To handle this data, we use variables. You can think of a variables like a box with a label. You store some value inside the box and use it later by its name. To create a variable in JavaScript, we use the let keyword. The statement creates, in other words, declares a variable with the name message. Now the variable is declared, but it's empty. We can put some data into it by using the assignment operator equal. So the string is now saved into the memory area. We can access it using the variable name. So here we got the variable in the console. So to be concise, we can combine the variable declaration and assignments into a single line. Let's comment these things out. Here, we declared and assigned our value simultaneously in one line. Here we got our variable. Okay, it works. We can also declare multiple variables in one line, putting comma inside of each of them here. But that might seem shorter, but I don't recommend it. To make the code for better readability, please use a single line per variable, like this. The multi-line variant is a bit longer but easier to read. So in older scripts you may also find another keyword, var, instead of let. It almost does the same things, but it acts weirdly when it comes to scopes, which I will talk about this in the next video. For now, stick with let, it's more modern. So in JavaScript, we can also change a variable's value. We can change it as many times as we want. Like here. The box has the same label, but now it has a new value inside. The old data is removed from the variable. Here we got our value. So we can also declare two variables and copy data from one into the other, like this. We declare two variables and we copy it from the first variable into the second one. Here we will get two same things. So keep one thing in mind. If you try to declare the same variable again with let, you will get a syntax error. Like this, you cannot write like this because it has the same keyword. You should declare it once, then reuse it without keyword let. So there is another variable keyword, call it constants. If a variable value will not change, use const instead of let. If you try to change, it will cause an error. Using const make your code safer and easier to read. There is a widespread practice to use constants for difficult to remember values that are known before execution. Such constants are named using capital letter and underscores. For example, uh, here we got a variable color red, and inside we got hexadecimal format of the color red. So use uppercase when the value is a hard coding setting. If you still don't understand this, look, color red is much easier to remember than its value. And it is much easier to mistype its value than color red. And also it's more meaningful when talking about variables. There is one more extremely important thing. A variable name should have a meaningful and obvious meaning describing the data that it stores. There are some good to follow rules or use human readable names like username or shopping cart, and stay away from abbreviations or short names like A, B, or C unless you know what you're doing. There are two limitations on variable names in JS. The variable name must contain only letters, digits, or the symbols $sign and underscores. Here are the valid names. When the name contains multiple words, you can use camel case method. It's commonly used, which means that the words go one after another. Each word except first, starting with the capital letter, like this. Alright, here are the invalid, error, incorrect variable names. Here you cannot start with a digit, and here the hyphen is not allowed to use. Also, in JavaScript, there is a list of reserved words which you cannot use because they are used by the language itself. For example, the word let, class, or return, or function are reserved. Oops. This code gives a syntax error here because we cannot name a variable with let and return. Alright, so let's quickly summarize. Use let for variables that can change, and use const for variables that do not change, and avoid for unless working with old code, and remember, use clear descriptive names, and don't reuse variables for different meanings, and declare each variable only once. If this video helped you understand JavaScript variables, like the video and comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more JS videos, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.